Hi everyone, it's Brad. I am the Eco Dude. I am in my store. Look at that new piece of artwork. Yeah, it is Wednesday. It's the day we do our supplier series, and I highlight one of our suppliers. And so today I am staying very hyper local, and we'll be talking to Basic Natural Skincare. I think it's just Basic Naturals. I always butcher the name. And I see you guys are here. So just so you see, this is where your stuff is. Some here. There's some stuff over here. I feel like there's more here. You're pretty much in our skincare line, being guarded by her, Miss Patriotic. So I'm going to grab one or two of your products, and I'm going to ask you to join me. So here we go. How do I do this? Here we go. So hopefully we'll get on and we will talk to, hey Danielle, how are you?
Hey, I'm good. How are you, Brad? Nice to
Did
see
it.
you.
I was just grabbing some of your products off the shelf. Did you see how nice it looks?
It does. It looks really good. The store's filling out.
It's filling out, but we can't lie. You live
Looks
like a
really,
mile from here. You always get to see this place.
that's true. Especially when we're running with the kids or biking through.
That's true. You guys are very super
Prime
active and you
location.
keep your kids active. Look at that cool room you're in with who's the guitar player?
We knew you were going to ask that, actually. There are a lot of people who try to play guitar, but no one's very successful yet.
Well, it looks cool, that's for sure. It's
I
better
believe
than
it,
this background. I could show you this. I'm setting up for the Westport Farmers Market tomorrow, but it's like I'm out of the habit. So I actually have to
yeah.
set it up in the back of the store. Then I have to break it down, load it in my car, and then set it up tomorrow. But I'm trying to figure out what to set up. So
That is
anyway,
very, very smart and organized of you to have it like practice before. Whenever I used to
well,
do the market, it was like, on the fly, set it up as soon as I get there.
I used to do it on the fly, and then my wife would be like, "It looks like shit, Brad." So she's taught me a few
She needs to
pointers.
do the markets. That's what we do. You would set it up. I'd say it looks like shit, and then I'd go and fix it. So you got to reverse.
That's awesome. So we're here to talk about your brand, which is Basic Naturals backwards. Um, yeah, you guys live in Norwalk, right in near my store, which is awesome.
Yeah.
So I have 5 questions, and as I always say, we can say, I know someone's saying, is it Wednesday already? It is Wednesday. My Wednesday supplier series. We pretty
It does
much can,
not feel like it.
once we get to third question, we can say whatever the hell we want because no one will be listening at that point, except Yaniv, who just joined us. So we'll wave at him. So
Wait a
I want to
second.
know, my first question is how basic are your products? I figure that's really important to you, that word. It's part of your brand story. So
Yeah.
how basic are they?
Yeah, it's kind of like eco to your brand.
It
Um,
is,
it
yes.
is. They are basic, and I think what's important to define is that basic in this case doesn't mean that they're not intelligently planned out. It's kind of like the basic T-shirt that most people try to have as part of their wardrobe. You want it to have a good fit. You want it to look good. It should go with everything. It's like foundation, right?
It's like the
So
hardest thing to
basic,
find in the wardrobe is that
right,
basic
right.
piece.
It is, and it's so simple a formula to like get a good cut, plain
Has to
color.
fall the right level.
Yep. I can't say I have a good basic white t-shirt. I don't own one, but I have this, black. Black's good. Anyway, about the products, basic when it refers to our products means that they are formulated without any additional junk. So most of our formulas have about 10 ingredients or less, many of them a lot less than 10. And we do it that way because we really select for the most optimized ingredients for that purpose. So that's why they're basic. They're really, really toned down into what the product needs to have in order for it to do its job and to do it properly for your skin and protect your skin in the process.
That's awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I'm so sure that being basic is much harder than creating something with chemicals in it and things that you already know because of that chemical property what it's going to do. It's probably much harder to find and formulate your basic product that still does the trick that everyone wants it to do. Because at the
It's
end
just,
of the day,
it,
I will ask you about the happy feet later. But if the happy feet don't make my feet happy, I won't buy it again. So it must make my feet happy.
yeah, yeah. I think it's kind of like with baking, when you throw too much junk in, it doesn't really hold together.
Mm,
And then you end up needing more and more ingredients in order to keep it stable, keep it the right texture, keep it from spoiling. And when you're doing it right, with the proper oils and natural waxes and essential oils, and you have it in a good balance, it will stay shelf stable. It won't irritate your skin, and it will really do the proper function of protecting the skin barrier and hydrating, rejuvenating, etc.
So cool. So I always ask people about their origin story and how they got started, because it's never how people think businesses get started or planned in the perfect way. So how did you guys get started?
It is a funny story, and of course, like a lot of funny stories in our family, they start with Yaniv. Um,
That guy.
he's one, and he is the goofball. So he's originally from Israel. He was out on a visit and was biking around, and this sounds nothing to do with business or skincare, but I promise you,
It
it
will come
connects.
back. It's like Seinfeld.
He
It's gonna
went for a
come
bike
back.
ride like he typically does, and he didn't bring any water in Israel in the heat. He started to dehydrate and had to resource some kind of hydration from the landscape around him. So he picked a prickly pear cactus fruit, also known as the sabra, and he peeled it with his, it's ridiculous. He peeled it with his hands, and he got a lot of those prickly fibers stuck under his skin, and they broke off. And it wasn't until he returned from his bike trip, and about like 10 days later, he started noticing that this rash was breaking out on his palms. And we traced it back in photos, even somehow with our digital camera. Then we were able to look back on the photos and see that this rash had kind of spread on his hands from like just like a redness. And it turned into contact dermatitis, or otherwise known as eczema. And he suffered for like 2 years, even with the help of doctors, trying to cure himself from this irritation. It was horrible. He was up at night, itching, scratching, peeling hands, really bad and really depressing. And that's when the software engineer in him kicked in. That's his main trade. And he said, I have to solve this. Nothing they're giving me is working. I have to figure out a way to end my suffering and do it naturally, because he was not about to be on steroid creams all his life. And that's really what led into skin repair.
Wow.
Tons of research, formulating on his own, reading about all different types of ingredients that could be beneficial, and it led him to calendula oil. And he started making his own and deriving it by cold press, soaking the dried organic flowers, organic oil. And then eventually he came upon the right balance of things and started to see an improvement, which was amazing.
During that time, you're like, what are you doing drying these flowers? Like, is he like that crazy guy?
He was a crazy chef, yeah. And it was usually like at midnight, I'd hear him in the kitchen, and I'm like, I felt so bad because he was suffering. But at that point, I was using, probably mostly mainstream cosmetics and skin and, products. We were starting a family at the same time, so we started to look into what was in everything and how to kind of give ourselves the best foundation for a healthy future and healthy family. And that's when we really started to go more green and more natural and understood what was in our shampoos and our face washes. And that's eventually what led us into expanding on the line, because we realized we could do it ourselves.
I mean, it's amazing what having kids can do. It's a huge catalyst for lots of changes in people's lives.
Oh, yes.
Also, I'm just thinking, like, when you grow up in Israel, is it like Bubby's job to like teach you not to touch the prickly pear? I mean,
I'll talk to his mom.
please. What happened there?
I wonder what she thinks about that aspect of our business story, honestly.
So I guess like you like to make fun of Yaniv. Just curious what it's like being a husband-wife team. I maybe you don't both work on the brand now, but I thought you both work on it and do other
We
things.
did.
But what is it like
Yeah.
working as a husband and wife team? And who has better skin, you or Yaniv?
That's a good question. I'll answer the first part first. It is interesting working as a husband and wife team. Thankfully, I think most of the time we get along and we complete each other as far as like what he's good at, I'm not as good at, what I'm good at, he's not as good at. So we don't irritate each other too much that way, and we kind of complement each other. As far as who has better skin, I think it's kind of an unfair question. It's not comparing apples to apples, man, woman, age difference, etc. But I think the guy's got great skin.
Come on, you have amazing skin. Look at you. I put my
Yes,
money
yes,
on
yes.
your
He
skin.
has to work less for it. He uses our products. He's not as consistent with the regimen as I am. Like I'm like, okay, you could write it out on my wall and I'd follow one step, two step, all the way to whatever step. And he's like, okay. And it still looks good.
Really? Do you use the Gua Sha tool? Like I'm obsessed with Gua Sha.
Mhm.
Really? We sell them in our store. They go like crazy, but I didn't know what they were until I opened up and someone's like, you need Gua Sha. Oh my God, the rabbit hole of YouTube videos you can go down with that thing.
Oh yeah.
All right, he
Yeah,
needs to
I
stay
actually
vegan.
that's one thing that I'd like to get better at doing. I think there's a lot of benefits that could, in the long run, improve. And that there's even like videos of how through the lymphatic drainage, how it kind of reshapes your face. So
Oh,
there's
interesting.
some areas that I'd like, if I work on my jaw enough, will it like become really strong?
Next time you come in, if I don't recognize you, like, oh, you use that Gua Sha, haven't you?
Down
Well,
with plastic
anyway,
surgery. We're
just
not in plastic surgery realm here. We're just going to gloss our way to it.
Yaniv is listening, so let it be known that the eco dude thinks you have better skin than he does. It's
Oh,
okay.
okay.
He has other things that he's really good at. He makes like electric bicycles. Like, come on.
I know.
So
He's,
cool.
he's a nut.
He is a
He
nut.
has so many hobbies. It's crazy. And I'm like, where are my
Where is he
hobbies?
right now? He should pop in and say hi.
He's not a call for work.
That happens.
Muted.
When you say work, do you mean basic naturals or another job?
He has another job. So during the day, he's full time as a software engineer, and then he
Smart.
creates all the products at night and on weekends. So,
Smart. Because he's an
mhm.
engineer. And you
He's
do more of the
a-
marketing and the PR and the
yeah,
product testing and all that stuff.
exactly. And
So
then
cool.
when we were pre-pandemic days, I was doing all of the in-person markets and events and stuff like that, which kept me pretty
Do you
busy.
both do the mixing and making the actual product?
I help when there's an issue of like, packaging and that kind of thing. We do an assembly line, especially when we do Healthy Face, which is one of our more complicated formulas.
Yep.
It's nice to have like one person do the pouring and the other person do the kind of making, agitating it so that the air comes out and then sealing and stuff.
You
So
know, it's like everyone just thinks, oh, I can do this, but I'm glad you said the more complicated formula. It's like these things
yeah,
are complicated. You really have to know what you're working with, how to work with it, the timing, the temperature. I mean, it's not easy stuff. So don't just go start a skincare line, you know?
absolutely. And even with something as simple as like an oil cleanser, you look at the ingredients and it's like, okay, organic olive oil, castor oil, lavender oil, vitamin E. Who
How
can't
hard
do
can
that? But
that
you
be?
have to know how much. And yeah, you could look it up and you could do trial and error. Fine, more power to you. It's not impossible. But if you want to put your faith in somebody who's already done the research, it's not that much more expensive and you're supporting a small business. So,
It's so true. It's so true. So I took my two favorite products because I want you to tell us about them. My first favorite is Happy Feet because my feet need love. I go to a foot doctor often because my feet are gross. I have some feet issues. So I
oh
do
no.
like Happy Feet. And then I also like Skin Repair. And I think that one is probably because of the calendula. And when I was in high school, my friend's mom was an herbalist. This is back in the early 90s. And I just remember her always like, when you cut yourself, come here, you got to put the calendula cream on. You know, I made this.
Yeah.
So I love those two products. Tell us more about them without giving
So
away the formulation.
without giving away the formulation,
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess Happy Feet, I start picturing you kind of dancing around like that penguin movie, Happy Feet.
Yes,
Is that what
yes.
you do after you put it on?
It is. And I actually have a penguin onesie I got for the holidays. So
Do you really?
I do. Actually, I should take a picture of me in it with your Happy
You
Feet.
did. Please do. We'll post it for you. Maybe we'll do
Yes.
some short stories so you don't have to
Because I
suffer
do a
through the
night,
events.
I do like, I don't do skincare, but I do a night and morning foot care regimen.
I'm happy we're a part of it.
Yes. So what's in the Happy Feet? Like, why do you need a cream especially for the feet?
Well, your feet get really dry and you're on them almost all day long. So you got to take care of them, obviously. And we have issues that come around with our feet with age and with medical conditions and just from walking around or running or athleticism, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So taking care of your feet is super important. You don't want to get infections. You don't want to get athlete's foot or fungus. And speaking of athlete's foot and fungus, one of our ingredients, the essential oil in the Happy Feet, is very good at preventing fungal infections, bacteria, and athlete's foot. And that's a wonderful benefit to have with it.
True confession. That's my
Super,
issue. It's
super
the
percent.
athlete's foot. That damn fungus. There's fungus among us.
Mm.
But I work out and I'm on my feet all day and I'm walking around all day and it's crazy what that fungus can do to your nails. It's
Yeah.
nasty. Anyway,
I've
and then
thankfully
skin
never
repair. Like, why
experienced
don't I
that.
just put skin repair on my feet?
So skin repair does not have the same type of like base wax or butter. The shea nut butter that's in the Happy Feet is super hydrating. It's very rich in fatty acids and a lot of vitamins. So it's really good at creating like a protective barrier to the skin and trapping in the moisture and rehydrating everything down there. So it's really, really a different formula than the skin repair, even though they look similar because they're both balms.
Yeah.
Skin repair, the first ingredient is calendula oil, which is something that you won't find in a lot of eczema focus or, you know, I guess healing balms. They're not going to put the calendula oil first. The reason we do that is because the more you do, the more you apply, the better it is. The higher percentage, the more healing it is. So that's what really led Yaniv to fixing his condition was that higher percentage of calendula oil versus other companies that are kind of, you know, saving droplets of gold. We call it liquid gold in our house because
Oh yeah.
it's a
Well,
beautiful
it's more
gold color.
expensive per ounce. I mean, it's a
Yeah,
smaller bottle and costs almost the same price as this bigger one. So you use it differently.
you do it
Sparingly.
different. Yeah, exactly.
It'd be good for this cut I have right now on my thumb when I broke my Pyrex compost bin 2 days ago when it was out dumping
Oh
the
no.
down. I guess it was a little too cold and I got a little too rough getting the coffee grinds out there and then broke it. I cut my
Those damn coffee grinds.
skin repair right on that, right?
Yeah, you should. And a Band-Aid.
And a Band-Aid. It was bleeding pretty bad actually.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well you just proved yourself that you know it's in your products, you know what's up, you know what you're doing. Proof, I love it. So our last question is yeah, you can give any of your products, one of your products to any hero of yours. Who do you choose? Which product do you give them and why? It's a crazy weird question, but it's really fun.
Hero of mine. I don't, you know, it's funny. Do you have a hero? Because I can't think of like, I have people
Well,
that I
everyday
idolize.
hero. I usually just say you can give any one of your products to any living or dead person. You know, it could be anybody.
Hmm.
Hey, I sent you this question ahead of time.
One comes
I
to
don't like
mind.
surprising people with this question.
It doesn't matter that you sent it because you know what? I can't, it's not like every day. I don't have time to think about like a hero, but I
I
honestly
know.
can say, as far as a powerful go-getter kind of mom that I totally respect, other than my mom who does use the products
Okay.
and loves them and she gets them all the time. I would have to say Pink. Pink rocks my world. Saw her in concert. She flies around on a freaking trapeze.
She's
She's
amazing.
gorgeous. She's strong. She works out. She could probably beat me up. And she has a powerful set of lungs. And I'd love to hear what she says about our products if she ever tries them.
And which product do you really want her to try? Choose one that I'm going to tag Pink and see what she
Oh,
says.
do you know my favorite? The one I can't live without?
Which one?
Healthy Face Anti-Aging.
Wait, which one is it?
Healthy Face Anti-Aging.
I don't think I have that here in the store. But
That one
it's
is,
interesting you say that because I had a customer said, you need some anti-aging stuff in here and you'll probably sell faster. Okay.
I know what your problem with it is going to be, and we'll talk through that.
We'll talk
It's
through
going
it.
to be the
Okay.
packaging that's available right now.
It's
So,
very hard. Packaging's hard, and I have my standards, my damn standards.
you're
But
very picky.
you know, there's supply chain issues and all that. So
Yeah, yeah.
I've
Working on it always.
used your Dead Sea mud mask. I like it. I've used your aftershave, healthy feet, and skin repair. These are the ones I've used. And nothing's gonna help these bags. I'm not using anti-aging. I'm just gonna embrace my age. That's what I do.
And get more sleep and drink more water, right?
You know
That
what?
should be.
That's weird you say that because last night I did not get a good amount of sleep because I think I drank too much coffee yesterday. And
Mm.
two, I used to be like the king of drinking water because I had a desk job. Now I'm in the store. I drink zero water all day. Sometimes I skip lunch. It's like kind of crazy. I need
Yeah.
a lot more water. After this, there's my pink water bottle. Pink,
Right.
pink. See? It was meant
There
to
you go. Good
be. We're
connection.
giving some product to Pink, and
Now,
then I'm gonna
where's your
drink out.
trapeze? You gotta have a trapeze in the store. I hear you're gonna have a coffee shop soon.
I do have this huge hammock that we want to hang up. So, I do
That's a,
love
that's a dream of mine, honestly, is to have a hammock in the house.
It's so cool. There was that
Mhm.
pink video I always loved, Raise a Glass. Is that what it's called? But that video was just like, whoo, it was crazy. It was awesome. So
Yeah.
anyway, well, how fun to talk to you. I should have had you come live, but I do like going live on Instagram. It's fun. We get to have split screen. And
Yeah.
thank you for joining. I'm going to post
My
this.
pleasure.
I'm going to tag you. And besides my store, are there other local places people can buy your products?
Right now, we're always open to finding new vendors. Some of the stores that we used to sell out locally, like Collected Home in Rowayton, unfortunately closed right at the beginning of the pandemic. So most of the other stores are not local to Norwalk.
So you're selling out of state.
We're selling out of state.
So, hey, Connecticut people, we need to get their stuff locally. Maybe I'll bring
Just
some
reach
to the
out through
farmers. I'll bring some
Instagram.
to the farmers market. You used to do farmers markets like I did.
Oh yeah, we got our start at Westport. We
That's how,
love it
okay,
there.
so
Love
I might
bars.
bring your products tomorrow and people will be like, oh my God, we know them. And I'll say, well, I know them too.
Right. Maybe I'll stop by if I have a free moment.
Please, please. Well, thank you so much. And I'll tag this, I'll tag you, I'll post this, I'll tag you, you'll share it, and we'll go from there. Thank you for being one of my suppliers. It means so much to me.
Pleasure, Brad. Have a great day.
See you soon. Bye bye.
Bye.